The new Ice Hero Silas just came out, and there's a lot of cool strategies to test, so let's try them out. Silas is definitely very awesome in Chimps mode and definitely has some unique capabilities, so let's check out some of these cool strategies. And today I'm going to be going for Energizer, which I'm very excited for. Energizer can do some cool things, and I think it can scale up really well, particularly if you go a little bit further and get 2 absolute zeros with the Energizer. But basically what it's going to be doing is it's going to be getting Silas to level 20, which actually isn't really a big deal anymore because the bug where one of the upgrades that made it so tier 3s give more hero XP now actually works, which it didn't before. So you can actually get that perk without Energizer necessarily, but it will do that without having to spam anything, which could be useful depending on what you're going for. But it will be giving Silas's abilities double cooldowns, so they're going to go down twice as fast, which is actually very good. You can get a lot of things off very quickly. The level 10 ability is also just a very long ability, but being twice as fast for the cooldown is very nice. And then on top of that, it's also going to double the cooldown for the absolute zero. Well, not double, which I'm saying it's more like halved, but you get the point on that. And the last thing is that when you get a first strike, because you will need something for round 100, instead of having to go for a Moab Eliminator, I can just get a first strike, and with half the cooldown, it will be able to go on twice as much, and you will be able to beat round 100 for half as much money by getting a first strike instead of a Moab Eliminator. For this game, I'm going to be utilizing Silas with the Icicles, a very strong combo to be able to beat the mid-game. I'm going to be having that ice up there, which will turn into the absolute zero, of course, later, and then just a single Moab shove will allow me to get through the mid-game by stalling out these Moabs, and the Icicles will be able to take everything out inside. Just a few Icicles and a Moab shove can really go straight through the mid-game without any problem, and I'll be able to use this to get all the way into an Energizer, and then from the Energizer, everything will be pretty chill. The absolute zero will come up shortly later because Silas will get the level to get the tier 5 ices for a little bit cheaper pretty sooner, and you have really a lot of money to work with, so you'll just be able to get that, and then you can quite literally spam the absolute zero like it's nobody's businesses. The absolute zero got nerfed recently, so it has a longer cooldown, which is pretty fair. It was a very busted tower, but now with Energizer and primary mentoring, you'll have maximum uptime, or basically just maximum uptime on the absolute zero, so it's almost like if it didn't get nerfed at all. This is a little bit worse than 2 absolute zeros with the primary mentoring and the reactor, because you are going to be getting 15% more from the reactor. So it is a little bit more absolute zero if you have 2 absolute zeros instead of the absolute zero in Energizer, but you also get some other benefits, and the Silas having half the cooldowns and being able to do first strike instead of Moab Laminator is definitely a lot more. So this setup should be able to get more cash spare than 2 absolute zero strategy. But I'm gonna see. There is one big issue that comes up. If that one issue that came up was not so much of an issue, this would actually be very, very effective in getting a giant amount of cash spare on a map even as difficult as #ouch, but you'll kind of see what that is when the round for it comes up. But I'm going to be getting Energizer very soon, and then I'll be able to go straight through the rest of the mid game without much of any problems, and then everything should be pretty chill and easy. Just got to use some of the abilities for rounds like 75 and all, and then I should be able to take everything out. So going into the late game, everything was really, really smooth. I could use absolute zero so much that everything would just not really go anywhere. And then round 95, I ended up having to get a Sabo, just because this round is pretty tricky with silo strategies in general. Unless you have like Impale, there just isn't enough uptime, and even with absolute zero, I don't get the abilities back, but that was all right. That's kind of something that you'll have to do for double AZ or other things along the lines too. So we're just gonna have that to be able to take out round 95, and then with the addition of Sabo too, not like I really need it, 96, 98, they're just not going anywhere. And to make these rounds go a little bit shorter too, I can just spam the first strikes. So that's kind of what I'm doing all the time along with this. And then I also have the other abilities, the level 3 and I think it's level 7 ability that I can use. It's not going to really do much because I don't have a lot. I just have a few icicles to be able to do some damage and clean up whatever little damage I need. I don't really have a lot of damage, but with the amount of slow, it's kind of crazy. Things aren't really going anywhere, so that doesn't matter. And you'll see that I'm starting to rack up cash, and I'll be passing 60,000, which is really, really cool. 99 isn't going anywhere too, so with that one round, that's going to be trouble. It is indeed round 100. I didn't have enough Moab damage. 2 first strikes will do a lot to round 100, especially if you were to use the trick where you pop it open and then you can first strike like the ZOMGs on the inside. But even with that, this strategy just straight up does no damage to round 100, and this map is really, really short, so I wasn't able to get much anymore, which means I unfortunately had to spend spent quite a lot on round 100, even though I used 4 first strikes during a round. I went for the sticky bomb. That really did enough damage. Maybe there was something that was a little cheaper, but I couldn't really find anything that was super reliable that could do it. So yeah, kind of unfortunate that I had to spend so much, but 55,000 isn't bad.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!